Yo, welcome to the No Limit Podcast, also known as the I Am a Wrestling Godcast. Here with Danny Bradshaw Layfield.
I like it.
And Orlando Jordan. I couldn't figure out a way to turn myself into Orlando Jordan, but we're also joined by our very own Deklan Grant.
Clap it up, America.
We've been talking a whole lot of wrestling recently on the podcast, and we got ourselves a wrestler here ourselves.
Get ready for the
No
most
limit,
female views ever.
Yeah, let's go.
So for anybody who
Let's
doesn't
go.
know, this is the Hardcore Hustle Organization World Heavyweight Champion, Deklan Grant, that we're sitting down here talking with, so show the man some respect.
I did it, Ma. Kiss my ass.
Now, where's the belt? I want to see the belt.
I left it at the building.
Yeah.
I got a little drunk and realized that I couldn't really memorize where all my shit was. I just grabbed my duffel bag and pieced out, and then got home and was like, fuck.
Yeah, because you had a match for the championship this past weekend, right?
Mm-hmm.
So go into what that match was. What was the stipulation? It was a special.
Steel cage.
Three-way steel cage.
Yeah, with a fucking giant that's like 350. Oh, probably like 340 or something like that. And then Devin Moore, who's a scumbag.
Yep. Devin Moore, formerly of Pro Wrestling
Which
Unplugged.
One? Chuck?
The 350
like
guy.
6'7", something like that.
Yeah, it's a big
The
dude.
monster Chuck Payne.
Yeah,
I've been doing my research on this shit, bro. I don't come unprepared.
Nice.
I seen the match highlights.
Nice.
You went through a car windshield, didn't you?
My car windshield.
You went through your own car windshield?
Like an idiot.
Yeah.
I got hit by the car maybe like 2 months ago, and we already broke the windshield. So when Safelite came to the building, we didn't even have to say anything to the guy. I guess he seen the ring, put two and two together, and was just like, oh, something fucking stupid happened to this. So we ended up keeping the windshield, and I figured, what better way to end this match? Let's use this windshield again.
Yeah.
And that was a horrible idea because my back is all cut up from it.
Really?
Yeah, itched like a motherfucker, but...
And we just got to the bottom of that pre-pod, that it was the fiberglass in the windshield. So that's actually crazy.
Jeez.
That's some long-term storytelling. A lot of wrestling fans these days are talking about long-term storytelling. The first angle that you guys shot to build up to that match, you broke the same car windshield that you eventually went through in the match.
Yep. It seems like everybody today, though, they're all like gift wrestlers. Like everyone's a fucking acrobat. They do flips and stuff. I can't do that.
You're
like,
not that. What's your nickname? I know it, but I'll let you say it.
The grimy bastard.
The grimy bastard.
I'll
And
tie
why
your
is
boots
that?
together and fucking rub Tiger Bomb in your eyes mid-match. Did that once.
Tie your boots together and rub Tiger Bomb in somebody's
See,
eyes.
but like wrestling always needs a character like this. You know, something no limit, right? Comes out of nowhere. It's
The worst part
hilarious.
is,
It's
like,
great. It's definitely a no limit gimmick. I love it.
I don't even like view it as a gimmick too much. I just like try to turn my
What are
personality
Tiger
up and
Balls?
just people around here. Tiger Bomb?
Tiger bombs.
It's kind of like Icy Hot, only on steroids.
Yeah, it's like a super, super icy hot.
Yeah.
For instance, a little tangent. This is what I can say about why rubbing Tiger Bomb in your eyes would be so bad. Someone I know once accidentally put Tiger Bomb on their dick,
Oh.
and they were screaming in pain. So Tiger Bomb in eyeballs, you'd be in trouble.
Why? Care to give a backstory at all on that or no?
No.
Was it an accident or?
Yeah, I'm
was it
actually. That's
I
like,
think
almost
he
slipped and did
might
it,
have
but-
rubbed it on his body and then had it on his hand and took a piss, and that's how that whole ordeal
that's definitely
happened.
not what happened, but I'll allow it.
That ain't good. That is
Definitely not good.
You're saying he was trying to jerk off a Tiger Bomb?
I hope not.
Yeah, he
Godspeed to that kid.
Idea as soon as he tried it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Who did you do that to? Who did you put Tiger Bomb in their eyes?
Now I'm giving my hand away with this one.
Ooh.
His name was Haunted Francis. He wore this fucking costume from like Adult Swim. He did, like, without getting deep into detail, I'm going to under the impression he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
It wasn't until after the fact I found out, yeah, he doesn't know how to wrestle. He's been doing it for about 4 fucking years and gets booked everywhere.
Doesn't have a
but
clue.
Doesn't have a fucking clue. Just from the first lockup, I've realized because he put his hand on my elbow and I'm like, the fuck was that? But when I say like this kid is dressed blue mask, like a blue alien mask, he's this fucking big, the leather, whatever the fuck, and I'm just like, what am I doing right now? Because it was peak COVID too, so there was really no people. The only people sent around were other workers. So I'm thinking to myself, like, God, I feel like if there was ever a time I wanted to quit, it's right now.
Yeah.
I just want to walk out.
Francis.
Yeah, Haunted Francis.
Haunted Francis.
I was kicking him as hard as I fucking could.
I wonder what's going on with Haunted Francis now. I haven't seen anything in what I've looked up of the H2O organization.
I don't know, but he doesn't get booked at H2O. That's why.
So real quick, I just want
ahead.
to say, like, as someone like who actually wrestles, and obviously, you know, wrestling is, you know, fake, right? It's just like it's just an act, it's an entertainment sport, but you're actually getting hurt.
Yeah.
Like, talk about like the pain. Like, obviously, you went through a windshield and your back's all scratched up, but like, are you always sore?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah. If it
That's
seems like
tough, dude.
sometimes like going into a show, like certain shows, like I'll just be feeling okay. But it's weird because like once you walk through the curtain, you feel nothing. Like
yeah, you're running on adrenaline.
It is
I
a
guess.
weird feeling that just comes over you. Like I always have to piss terribly. I feel like I have the drunk piss. As soon as I go through the curtain, it goes right away. Every single time though.
Really?
It's the strangest thing in the world. Partially, I thought when it was so hot in the building the one time, I was like, did I actually piss myself? Because I'm drenched, but...
But you're the grimy bastard. It wouldn't
Yeah,
matter.
you know.
The grimy bastard just comes out, just pissed himself.
R. Kelly, everybody.
That is some
that's my
grimy
favorite.
bastard shit. Just piss yourself and go to the ring.
And Rikishi, everybody, and fucking leg drop.
X-Pac in the corner.
Yo.
619s. A 619 would be killer if you piss yourself.
What's your entrance music?
I got, what's his name? I always forget his fucking name. The kid that just got killed like a couple years ago. X.
XXX
Yeah.
Tentacion?
Floor 555.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why.
That's interesting though. It's
never heard
definitely an evolution of like an entrance song.
Yeah.
You probably have never seen anything like that. That brings to my attention. Do you watch any like current like mainstream product like AEW or WWE? Not to
Funny
really
thing?
get heavy into that, but just
Nah,
one quick thing.
To be honest, like ever since I started training and like learned how things go, I really don't watch it at all. Like I'll watch it if I'm there, or like if one of my friends have a match coming up, like I'll watch that.
Yeah.
But to get me to sit and watch a full length show, now I watched the Royal Rumble, but that was the night after I won the belt. Drunk as shit, wearing the fucking belt the whole entire time. I looked
Really?
down. I was like, you fucking child, you need to grow up, please.
That's what you should be doing.
Yeah,
Because you were
wearing
wearing the
pride.
belt.
fucking 25 years old.
Yeah, dude, wear that fucking belt, dude.
Wear that fucking belt. You're the
You want it
heavyweight
for a
champion.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
Yeah, if you want, hell yeah.
The only reason I even mentioned that was to say that if you know the wrestler Hook, Taz's son, his entrance music is an Action Bronson song. Like, not altered at all, just taken straight off the Action Bronson album. So that is kind of in the same vein as you using the XXX song.
Yeah.
Like, straight off the album, exactly
Well, that's-
how it is.
In the indies, like a lot of people, that's all people do in the indies is like just take whatever songs they like hearing because
Yeah.
you don't get in trouble for it. Now, like AEW, I like what they're doing because Tony Khan's just blowing money on everything. He's like, yeah, let's get the rights to that song and let's get the rights to that song. So it's like,
Yeah.
word, okay. But yeah, on the indies, it doesn't really matter at that point. Like, you just pick whatever song you want.
Now, is Hardcore Hustle the only organization you've worked in so far, or have you worked in others?
I did one. When I first started, I started with GCW.
When did you start? Like what year?
2018. It was actually what motivated me to start was the Eagles winning the Super Bowl.
Really?
And then I signed up like maybe 2 months after that, just because I
What,
was
like party like on Broad Street?
basically, I was just like, man, I'm fucking bored. Like that was so much fun, just that whole time period. That like once it went away, and then like you go back to life, and it's like go to work every day, come home, maybe go out on the weekends.
Yeah.
But dude was just talking about some guy threw a drink on
Yeah.
him. That seemed like to be a common occurrence for me every time I went out. So it was like, do I want to go get locked up or do I want to go do something else? So then I just figured like, fuck it. Like I still watch it. Let me go try it, see if I like it. And now I'm addicted to it.
Right.
It's dumb as that sounds.
That's great. Because I mean,
It's great now. You should hear
It's
me in
like-
the morning get up.
it's something I always wanted to do like wrestling though. You know what I mean? Like we always talk about like being doing like a gimmick as like a henchman for somebody.
but that's
just
why
it's like something to do with.
But that's honestly why I got so much respect for you as far as that goes. The waking up in the morning and going part, because as much as I love wrestling, bro, the furthest I would ever go with what we talked about is being like a henchman, like on the side. Maybe like you punch me, I'll fall on the floor, but I'm never going through a car window.
Yeah, we just
like that's just not. I'm not built like that.
Trust me,
I'm
there's
just
a lot
not.
of people that even wrestle that will
like
say
the
no
video
to
that I was
car
telling you
window.
about, the one where he stomps on his head with a chair.
Deklan Grant. Oh no, Deklan, get out of there.
Oh! Holy shit! He's dead. He's dead. Count to 100.
It looks like
That's what like got me a little concerned, like when it comes to taking a lot of head trauma and like taking a lot of headshots, especially you hear all the CTE stuff, and then like it just makes me like a little like nervous, like later down the line, like you get mood swings and stuff like that. Like I've had a concussion a couple times, and you start to notice like your emotions are just weird sometimes. Like when you take a lot of head trauma, like you just be sitting there thinking like, are they talking about me? Is people talking about? Nobody's talking about you. Dude, calm down. It's
Do you
just,
think that comes with head trauma?
I believe it does. Yeah,
But your concussions are from wrestling or from outside?
I had 2 concussions in wrestling, and then like 1 outside of wrestling. It was just skateboarding.
Yeah.
But
Because as the people, I thought we were going to mention this earlier, but as the people are going to know now, we've known you since we were young kids. You were always a crazy kid. Like, I feel like skateboarding was another one of those things, like, I'm not built like that. I'm not built to, like, bust my ass and fucking, like, scrape my elbows up every day. You were built like that. You were always into that like,
I don't think I was
that
ever
lifestyle.
diagnosed, but I really believed I was like ADD because I really couldn't sit still.
Yeah.
Like I played sports and everything, but just like certain things, like I just didn't get into. Like I loved playing basketball. I was the shits at it, but I loved playing it.
Yeah.
And then just as time went on, I was like, I am not running up and down the court all fucking day. That's not happening. I'd rather sit over here and smoke blunts. And then you go down that fucking rabbit hole, and then it's just you become lazy.
Yeah.
The grimy bastard.
Oh yes, I'm trying to.
I love it.
Some people don't get it, but it like I laugh sometimes when I think of just even my upbringing with going to training and everything. We used to have to, because it would just be like 4 of us at the school I first started with. The guy who owned
GCW.
the school, yeah. The guy
It was
who
a
owned the
wrestling
company,
school at the time, or was it already a company doing
they were
shows?
still already doing shows and everything, but they started up a wrestling school, and for some reason, like they just didn't get a lot of people. It was only me, my girlfriend, that's where I met her at, and this other kid, Ed. Other than that, it was like a rotating door. People would come in and out every now and again, but nobody actually stuck around, which blew my mind because the trainer is homicide out of all people. But then again, I learned people are very intimidated by that because he gives off this aura. He's an asshole. He jokes around 24/7, but people will get afraid to approach him in that way.
Yeah, he's looked at highly in the indie wrestling world.
He looks, the way like he comes in the room, you just see everybody like up and on. Oh, D, and I just see him like, oh God, I'm about to get the business now. Like he came up to me in AC and he didn't even say anything. He was just like, the fuck happened? Because the match like got cut short, and I was like, dude, I don't know. I just let me hear it, and he didn't really say anything bad about it.
In AC after a GCW show, or
no, it was before a GCW. They had H2O go on a Sunday, and then later that night was a GCW show.
Oh, okay. So this was way after you trained with him. This time that he watched your match.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's always given. That's why I like when he watches them, because like other people will watch them and say, "Oh, it was good." When he watches, wasn't good, but wasn't bad. Like, and it was just tell you straight up, like, nah, you could do this better. Try doing this. So I rather hear the criticism than.
Did you have a match for GCW?
I did. The only time I ever did anything with them was Warped Tour. I was obliterated. That was the first time I ever actually hopped in a ring during a show. Very drunk, sitting there drinking fucking warm vodka on the beach.
I was just gonna ask you, have you ever wrestled like just like shit faced?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you do it often.
Not too often. I don't want to go down that route, like to where it's like I'm dependent on being drunk before.
Yeah.
But there were a few times, like, not drunk, but, like, you would catch a buzz.
You never been blackout drunk like wrestling?
No. Atlantic City, I was so hungover to the point. I'm supposed to be over in a corner to catch somebody getting thrown out, and they're on this side, I'm right here. I crawl under the ring and just start throwing up because I'm fucking beyond hungover. You actually hear on the camera the guy starts walking, you're I'm like,
And you're
oh,
just throwing
no.
up?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Wow.
But
That's hilarious,
that plays
bro.
a part with, like, a lot of it is, like, cardio. Like,
Yeah.
and I never really paid attention to that part. 'Cause you see everybody's like this, but really, like, cardio is the main thing that you have to have in order
And that's
to
why
actually
it's
do
so
a match.
and that's why like the very best as far as physique in wrestling, like you really respect them even more because to maintain that muscle mass with the cardio they keep up is insane.
Like, me thinking about running a match for 40 minutes, I'm like, huh.
Dude, I'm just thinking about, like, just, like, going through a
A
windshield.
40-minute match. What's your longest match right now that you've done?
Probably a little over 15 minutes, honestly.
15? How long did the cage match go?
That really didn't even go that long. I think it was only maybe a little over 10 minutes. And I'm giving a lot away right now, but we didn't call anything. We just sitting there waiting. Oh, we're up. All right, what do we do? Windshield. And just walked out and did it. I'm like, okay, that works. So a lot of it's just walking and talking
Yeah.
and then just listening to each other and try to feed off the crowd. And
Yeah.
the crowd...
That always kind of fascinated me a little
Yeah.
bit about wrestling, like the way that the match gets called in the ring versus like how much planning goes into it beforehand.
It will
Do
make
you
your
know?
fucking
Are
head
there
spin.
people that plan it like entirely from beginning to end, and are
Yes.
there also people that go in and wing it, like you just said?
It's like more, I feel like veterans that been around for 20 years, 25 years they'll call a little bit, like, all right, we'll do this spot and then a bunch of shit and then we'll try to get to this one and just leave it at that. Then you have people like just me sitting in GCW's locker room, flip, bump, duck your head, 1 kick, 2 kicks. This, I'm like, what the fuck are they
You're trying to
doing over
remember
there?
all that.
Like, hell no, I can't remember that. I can't remember what the fuck he even said his name was. I keep going left, right,
I
left.
can't believe they even expect that.
Dude, some of these people, they're sharp like that, though, that actually memorize this shit. I'm like, do anybody here smoke weed, or is everyone fucking straight edge and takes
No,
no
you
head
really
from
think that your
them?
mind's fucked
Adderall.
up from weed?
I don't know.
Do you think yours is?
What?
You think your brain's fucked up from smoking weed?
I definitely think that it's more like cloudy, if that's a word.
When did you start smoking weed? Like what age?
Honestly, I waited until a good bit. I waited till I was like 19.
Really?
And then I didn't start
Such a
like
good kid.
seriously smoking weed
Yeah, right.
Such a good
Go
kid.
suck
till like 21. Like 21
Bro, yo.
was when I was doing it like daily.
13.
Yeah, I was 14. I definitely think my mind's fucked up from it.
I wouldn't say like my mind's fucked up from it, but like memory, like he said, like kind of like foggy in a way. Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah, like in general, the only way I can describe it is like I'm definitely more cloudy having
I
smoked.
definitely don't think I'm as sharp as I would have been.
Yeah.
Had I not smoked weed at 14.
Definitely.
was
But I
never
don't
sharp to
think
begin
it's like
with.
enough of, I don't think it's like enough
I
of
wasn't
a
sharp first,
detriment to
I'd
matter.
say. Huh?
I don't think it's like enough of a detriment to really matter though. Like
Smoking
you ain't
at
gonna
that
be
young
mad
of an
about
age,
it.
I think it probably is a lot worse.
So you regret that? Like you really like think daily or like every now and then like
I
I
guess
wish I
not
didn't
really.
do that.
Nah, I had a
I had a lot of
fun.
good time. Yeah, I had a lot of good
I had a
times.
lot of fun as a kid, so I
And everybody else was doing it. All the cool kids were doing it.
If your
that's
friends
what
told
makes
you
it
to jump off a bridge, would you do it?
If it looked cool,
Yeah.
maybe.
If I can get it on Instagram.
If your friend said, "Let's hit you with your own car," would you do it?
I can't answer that one.
I mean, you got the windshield down.
I
Yeah.
can't answer that one.
Did you put a windshield back on the car? Though?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like 2 days later, they came to replace it.
Nice.
All right,
The
that's all
promoter
solid.
actually he paid for everything.
Nice.
He felt horrible about it, but at the same time he couldn't. He was like more in shock the fact that it was like one take. All right, let's do it.
Yeah.
That is great, though. It really is
Just
awesome.
as it.
Yeah.
And shout out to both of your opponents in that, honestly, because Devin Moore, definitely a veteran on the Indies for sure. Like we said in the beginning.
Yeah.
PWU, which we talked about before, he was in that Crazy 8 match, which is one of the fucking craziest match concepts that has ever been executed in all of wrestling.
Yeah.
From fucking WWE
We're
all
trying
the
to
way
bring
down
that
to
back,
anything.
Too. We just need to find a building that you can hang fucking
That
ropes
would be
from.
absolutely a classic. Absolutely.
That's
a
all my
Crazy
classic.
8 is just wild.
And also Chuck Payne too, bro. Like I actually followed him from the podcast page. Shout out to him. He followed back. Like I would love to have him on the show. Like his look, bro, is good.
Fucking.
He's got a
humongous.
look like he's a giant. He is a giant,
We
and
call
he's
him the
really
locker room
that big
Undertaker.
where he could walk in to a major company and still be a big dude.
Yeah.
Like he's not like a big guy for your company. He is a legit big man.
Definitely somebody you want to have in your corner too. Like one of the nicest people I've met. But at the same time, like, don't fuck with him because he will put the fear of God in you.
Yeah.
It's like I keep messing with him because he's
Is that part of the reason you call him Locker Room Undertaker?
basically, yeah. Like a lot of people look at him like that in a way, just because he has this aura. Like, okay, number one, he's the biggest fucking one in the room, and number two, he's like he could joke around and everything like that, but when he like talks seriously, like you could feel it. Like he's one of them types, like a dad, like he stares down at you, and it's like,
Right.
all right, dude, all right, I got
Really?
you. He's going through, his back is like really, really bad. And I kept telling him the entire time in Atlantic City, I'm like, don't bump. Like, your back is fucking shot. Do not bump. Pretend to be Andre, basically. Sit down, if anything. Like, don't bump. Doesn't this asshole bump? Doesn't this asshole make me put him through a fucking table in a cage match? And that's just the entire, I'm like, dude, I'm going to dive on you. I'm going to win this fight finally because you're fucked up. I'm going to actually win this fight. So don't do it. And doesn't listen to nobody. He's like, oh, I'll be fine, brother. I'll be fine. I'm like, fuck you.
Put me through that table.
Yeah, put me through the table.
So where do
At
you
least I
guys
do it.
find your tables? Because we've been looking for a table since the inception of this podcast for
Yo,
one
we
of us
really
to get
have,
put
yo.
through.
We really been looking for a table. Just a table. Why are they so hard to find?
The tables that we have right now, a guy that used to like build everything for CZW got them from his church and just gave us like 30 of them. Dude, these tables are indestructible. They're so fucking hard and heavy to the point. There was a match. These guys are jumping off the top rope onto this table on the floor. The legs are bending. The table's laughing at them. Like the motherfucker didn't even slope. I'm like, Jesus Christ. What
Is
are we
that the
gonna
one
do
you
to this?
put the big man through?
Yeah.
And it went right through.
Finally.
Well, he's 300.
If I had a
something
table
pounds.
right here, would you have put Ed through it?
If Ed wants to go through
Yeah,
it.
that's what, yeah. I feel like he
You wanna
definitely
go?
would. He
I
would
was
just
just curious
fucking
because
pick
we were
me
like,
up and throw
we
me
always
through
are
it.
looking for a table. We just want to put somebody through a table.
Yeah,
on
I
the
said
podcast.
legit. Like when we first had the idea, it was honestly supposed to be on the second episode of the podcast, but
Yeah.
we just could not find a table.
Yeah.
Like we could find a wooden table and we could even saw it, but that table's like a thick table. It's like a dinner table. We can't find no specific ones. Probably like the
know
ones
what
you
the
got from
problem
the church
is.
that just had the legs and
Yeah.
and just basic Jones.
Because like a lot of people, like a lot of indie companies, even GCW, they buy doors because they're cheaper. And it's like, doors fucking, they're the worst thing to bump through because they just separate. Like, you go through a door, you land on the outside, and the table's good to break your fall. The door fucking disintegrates, and then you just lay on the concrete like, oh. So
Yeah.
I don't understand it, but at the same time, I guess cheaper, whatever. Nobody wants to spend the money.
Do you have like personal relationship with any of the wrestlers in GCW?
Not really. Like I was real close with Nick Gage. Me and him would always, he was like one of the trainers too. I thought of it as like it was pretty funny, and thank God the cops never came because he's a convicted felon.
Yes.
A lot of the times when we would go there, it would just be me and him, and like people would meet us there, but we would get there first. And the owner of the building wouldn't come, and there was only 2 people that had keys. None of us had keys. So we would open up the fucking window. It would like flap open like this. I would squeeze through the window, break in basically, pop the lock. We would train, smoke inside the fucking place the entire time, and then just roll out. And the entire time I'm thinking to myself, like, if a cop pulls up, here I am breaking into a fucking warehouse right now,
What a
crawling through a
felon.
window, and I have a bank robber with me. Perfect. How did we get away with this?
He robbed the bank without a mask, right?
Yeah.
That is some real fucking crazy shit. This dude robbed the bank without a mask.
That's awesome.
It's awesome.
That's awesome.
Give me that fucking bread. That's no limit.
Yeah.
I see your face. I
my
don't care.
money.
Give me that bread.
It's my money and I need
Eat
it.
it now.
The definition of it's my money and I need it now.
Yeah.
Walking in a bank, no mask. Give me that shit.
No, but like out of anybody like in that company, well then other than Matt Tremont too, I'm real close with him. But like it's mainly Nick Gage and Matt Tremont, and then Homicide whenever he's
They're a
bouncing
tag
back and
team,
forth.
right?
Yeah, they started up. He
I think they're the
entire ride-
champions.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
they
JCW tag
headlined
champions.
Hammerstein
Yeah.
the entire day
Against-
beforehand.
Who?
The Briscoes,
Briscoes. Okay.
fucking nutty ass Briscoes.
They're
They're
some
funny as
crazy
shit.
dudes. The
Dude, They are
Briscoes.
fucking funny. Just
You remember the
listening to them.
Briscoes, Dan? The Briscoe brothers?
Doesn't
Jay
ring a bell,
and
no.
Mark?
Yeah.
The Briscoe brothers.
Now it sounds familiar. You
One
said
of
Jay.
them was because one of them broke off and became kind of like a single star for a little bit, right?
Mhm.
Which one? I don't know. I'm not. Do you know? I'm not sure. One of them was like a single champion for a little bit for ROH.
I want to say Jay. I kind of want to say Jay because he does more of the talking for the both of them. So
They might have a match with
was gonna say
FTR
so.
coming out.
that would be pretty good.
That's what
Like,
they're trying to
That's all
book.
I keep saying on Twitter. Most of the recent wrestling I'll follow is mainly like on Twitter and like Instagram. I can't sit there and watch a full show because then I get bored. I start looking at my phone. Like,
Yeah.
just
I
don't
can't
know
watch
why.
anything anymore.
Mm-mm.
I
I
can't
lose
watch
an attention span. I watch fucking YouTube.
Yeah,
Like,
I can't. I have the attention span of shit.
You said the last event you watched though was the recent Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you think of that?
That was the shits.
Yeah,
That was
I thought you were gonna say it was
horrible.
the shit, and we were gonna have to have instant beef
No.
because that Royal Rumble was fucking horrible, yo.
And the fact that I was standing in my I didn't sit down the entire time. From the girls' rumble, because I'm sitting in the kitchen, I don't really buy cigarettes anymore. For some reason, because I had a bottle of Jack Daniels, I bought me a pack of cigarettes, and I stood in the kitchen by the window, smoking, drinking, and watching this fucking stupid-ass Royal Rumble.
Showering, strutting.
Yeah, showering, drinking beer. Yo,
Starting
free
in
my
the
boy,
shower.
free my boy Sneeze, by
Free
the way. Let him
Sneeze.
fucking walk.
Yeah, let's sneeze walk.
Let him walk
Enough
before
is
somebody
enough.
else gets hit with a fucking car windshield. Not playing. Free Sneeze.
Grimy bastard said so. The grimy bastard 316.
Yep. Laying the law down now.
So go ahead though. You're sitting in the kitchen smoking
just from-
cigarettes.
yeah, just
Jack
from-
Daniels, Royal Rumble.
It's 5:30 a.m. Here's bang.
We're going down that rabbit hole. Watch, I'm gonna be canceled from all these companies. But I just like at the whole entire time I'm wearing the fucking. My dumbass actually has the belt around my waist, and I'm watching the Royal Rumble. And
The
I'm
H2O Heavyweight Championship.
Put respect on it.
Yeah. Watching Royal Rumble wearing the belt, Jack Daniels cigarette.
You know what I mean?
That's the
Hardcore.
grimy
It was-
bastard.
That's the grimy bastard.
It was
Plotting
fucking
for his chance.
horrible. It was horrible. I thought about doing the same thing watching the Super Bowl, but I'm like,
I
wanna
swear to
change
God,
it.
dude,
Imagine-
if you
Yeah.
fucking came running
Yeah,
down the ramp at
imagine the
Royal
pop.
Rumble, I would have popped harder than anybody who came out for that fucking thing.
Everybody, the
I
whole
would have got
crowd.
smoked as soon as I hit the curtain. Just done. Drag him out.
You don't think Vince would book you?
Fuck
well,
no.
Nah.
Vince doesn't have a clue on who the people are that are on the indies right now. Like Vince is just doing whatever's making him more money.
yeah, he's trying to
He
max
care
out his
less
money.
whether you're a wrestler or not.
Why does he still care about money? Like, you're so old, dude. You got so much.
Who the fuck knows?
Dude,
That
he's-
man.
He's gonna have a match at WrestleMania.
Who, Vince? Is he
Apparently,
really?
apparently versus
gonna
Pat
wrestle?
McAfee.
Jesus Christ.
You know Pat McAfee?
Dude, that is crazy.
He hosts a podcast.
Yeah.
Apparently, him and Vince McMahon.
And how the
Are
fuck
gonna be
is this going
having
to
a
work?
match.
Vince is going to take a
Where you
stroke
going,
on
Dan?
live TV.
Oh, and that's actually a great topic to jump back in on. Now that we've pretty much covered everything up to where you're at now with wrestling, let's get into something no limit. Let's just dig into your mind a little bit what you think about this random ass topic right here. Because me and Danny differ on it. Water from the bathroom. Is it safe to drink it? It's safe, but should you be drinking water from the bathroom?
I mean, if you drink tap water, I guess it wouldn't make a difference. But for some reason, though, I kind of have to agree with him on the bathroom sink. It tastes different.
Tastes way different, bro.
It has a different
It's
taste
better?
to it.
You
It's
like
got, like,
it?
sugar
Like
in
you
it,
think
so.
it's good?
Yeah.
Am I the only person?
I
like,
think not.
I think I'm the only person who was always told that the bathroom pipes are different than the pipes that run to the kitchen because they expect you to drink the sink water from the kitchen. The bathroom pipes are just
Bro,
for cleaning
I
yourself,
think
so
it's
the
all
water
just
is like a
one water
little
supply.
dirtier because it doesn't have to be
Bro,
drinkable.
I'm looking in this white plastic cup. That water looks pretty clean to me. I don't know.
Is
I'll
it
see
cold?
Ice cold. It's like there's ice cubes in there. Oh, that don't exist.
I ain't gonna lie. If I was sleeping at like a friend's house when I was a kid, I would always break off to the bathroom because I always felt embarrassed to ask for a drink. So I would go to the bathroom,
Lap it
just
up.
hit my head under the fucking faucet, just guzzling water, come back with a mean stomach.
Nah,
ache.
dude, when you're hungover or like when you're hammered, right? And like you wake up at like 4 a.m. to like piss or something, when you're like,
God.
and your mouth's dry as shit, hitting that bathroom sink water is way different, dude, than any other water on earth.
Fall asleep in the fucking sink.
I'm sure people have done that. Literally fell asleep with their head underneath the sink. Fucked up.
I know somebody that did. I'm not gonna put his name.
Yeah.
Fell asleep under the sink?
Fell asleep at the sink while on the fucking toilet.
Nah, that
had
is.
his head
There's like
laying
electrolytes
over
or
at the
something there.
fucking sink.
That's hard.
Electrolytes in the sink water.
That's hardcore though.
But you're also a fan of bathroom sink water.
Yeah, I gotta say,
Hell
bathroom
yeah.
sink
Let's
water.
go.
Bathroom sink water hits a little different.
Oh my god, dude.
You gotta
good.
try it once, bro. Get drunk, be thirsty, go to the bathroom real quick, stick your head under the faucet,
Bro.
see how that treats you.
Get a pack of these. And just carry these around.
Pack
like,
of red cups.
Just have stacks like all over, and just every time you come to the bathroom, just grab a glass.
Just grab a glass.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you. Life expectancy is skyrocketing.
Saves you from walking downstairs.
Yeah, dude. Live like a hermit.
It's the way to do
I
it.
feel like you got something crazy on your mind right now.
Me?
Yeah,
Nah,
to respond.
I'm trying to.
I'll
There
figure
is
it out
one
on
more.
the side.
There's one more thing wrestling related with Declan that we didn't get into that I
that?
wanted to. His last match with Shane Douglas. We can't move on completely from the wrestling without touching on that.
The franchise.
The franchise.
Is there instant beef?
So the franchise, Shane Douglas, is not the franchise you once knew. He's like
No.
he's like an XFL team that just got started last year, probably gonna fold soon.
Dog,
the
he was
furthest thing from the
when
franchise.
we were like born, really. Like,
Yeah.
And like the entire time going out there, they're like, all right, you're gonna cut a promo on him. I'm like, him out of all fucking people, like he's the hardest person because he just fires right back at you. Thank God he granted me some mercy, but the entire time I'm standing there and I'm like talking shit to him, and I felt so bad. I'm like, where's the fucking tassels at? Because he used to have the tassels on his boots.
My man had on like sweats and a t-shirt.
Yeah, he wasn't trying to have no match at all. He seen the graphic, like me versus him. And he was
Really?
just like, yeah, that's probably not going to happen. What we're going to do, kid, is, and I'm like, whatever you say, sir. Just happy to be here.
And it ended in a roll-up, right?
Yeah, I kicked him in the nuts like twice and then rolled him up.
Hey, but at least you went over.
Yeah.
That was a big victory before you got to the championship.
Yeah, I pinned the franchise.
Yeah.
Fuck everybody
Pin the
else.
franchise, became the franchise.
Yup.
I'm right.
The
Fuck.
grimy franchise.
The
Wearing my
grimy
fucking
franchise.
Puma
Made
socks
t-shirts.
with
That
my
would be
Nikes.
sick. Do you have plans to start up like a little faction?
I wanna start something.
I don't know if you want to give away the booking plans because I know you probably know the literal.
I know
booking
like stuff
plans.
that's coming up, but like for me, like one thing I like thought would be pretty cool would be like make a sponsor for wrestlers to where it's just like similar to like skateboarding, like how skateboarders would have a shoe sponsor or something like that.
Yeah.
Have a clothing sponsor.
Yeah.
So basically it'd be like the NWO in a way, but not like a gimmick type deal. Like, all right, you're under this banner. Like you're under my sponsor, whatever the fucking name is. You could wear the shirts, get the logos printed on your gear, whatever. Like something like that.
some legit shit, like UFC. Like UFC fighters get sponsored.
Like something like that. Like I don't know, I just always seen that, thought of doing something like that, and then I also thought of like just doing that for just everyone from Philly.
Yeah.
Like just all Philly wrestlers, because believe it or not, there's a lot of them. And then there's a lot of
Yeah.
people from the counties who say they're from Philadelphia. That's why I was in the beginning saying I was from Kensington
Yeah.
Beach. Out of all places.
Who's some of
great.
your favorite or some of the
Philadelphia's
guys
meat market.
closest to you on the indie wrestling scene now?
What do you mean?
Like just, I would say, I guess like your favorites to watch or just guys that you're close to in the indie scene.
Homicide is one I like watching just because like I know how he works, and like from working with him, he's a motherfucker. Like that man
Really?
he's like 43, I think. He doesn't get out of breath. Somehow the building can be 110 degrees. He will be sweating, not breathing heavily at all. Just get done running a whole entire match, the other person will leave. I'm speaking for myself included because I couldn't fucking breathe midway
those
through
blunts.
it. Oh my god, he smokes blunts like a motherfucker
Yeah.
too, though. just never. His cardio is out of.
Now, I've
people are
always
just built
said, and
different.
I'm sure
Some
that
people are
he'll
built
agree
different.
because of doing this, that most people might think, oh, smoking blunts or whatever, that's a detriment to your cardio. I firmly believe that if you smoke blunts or you smoke whatever, but you then force yourself to go do cardio, your cardio only gets fucking better. Because imagine the day you show up and you didn't smoke a blunt, and
We used
now
to
you
smoke
run 40
before
minutes.
Training, like when
It's easier.
When Homicide wasn't there running the class, and it was just me and Nick, we would be driving to the building, rolling up a blunt, smoking it. Get to the building, finish the rest of that blunt, start working out. That hurt like a motherfucker though, because then you just be like all sluggish trying to lift
never
weights.
do that.
Dude, he was a machine with that.
Every time I go to the gym, I
motivated
smoke,
him.
dude.
Really?
A lot of
Yeah.
people do. I don't know how.
Every time you go?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Maybe
You
like
go once
every
a day or
time.
twice? I'm sorry. You go once a day or twice?
Once, I don't go twice. not even every day. I probably go like 4 or 5 times, maybe.
A week?
Yeah.
I guess like it'd be good though, but when you're doing it at your own pace, I guess like it'd be cool, like 'cause you
Yeah,
just
your
zone
own
out
pace,
and you're in
yeah.
your own world at that
When
point.
you're running drills and shit, it's a little
Yeah,
different.
it's a motherfucker, especially when you're rolling all over the place. You blow your high in like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Fall down twice and you're just like, oh, this doesn't last, and you're out of breath. But yeah, that man does not he does not lose his breath at all. I don't know how the hell he manages to do it, and especially over quarantine. He's like, oh, I just sat on the couch drinking pumpkin beer and eating honey buns. How the fuck are you still in shape?
Pumpkin beer's heavy.
Pumpkin
Some
beer.
dudes are just built like that. It's gonna keep coming
Probably
back
like
to that.
8% alcohol, probably black.
You would fuck with that. You and Homicide could
Yeah.
enjoy some pumpkin beers
What's
together.
up, Homicide? I was gonna get some pumpkin beer.
Is
dude.
he booking any companies right now or just coaching? Is he booking at GCW?
He's been doing a few things with GCW. I think he just did a show with them in LA not that long ago. He wrestled Moxley in Hammerstein. But yeah, that man just doesn't
So to
wanna
you,
stop.
Homicide, and Matt Tremont is the booker for H2O, right?
Yeah.
And to you, Matt Tremont, you got me and Eddie Bull right here. 2 henchmen. Just,
For anything.
just like in the background, like, you know, extras, like, we're in there. We're in
You
there.
know what I was thinking? We should both be shirtless.
For a slice of
but
cheese.
Both be shirtless wearing that headpiece you wore in the video.
That would be
That would
fire.
be tough. And just like black jeans and boots.
Yeah, but we're just putting our name out there because I feel like the wrestling community is going to tune into this podcast. And I'm glad that we've done a few wrestling podcasts recently that after they watch this, they'll go back and see the Royal Revival,
Yeah.
see the one
Sabu.
with Huncho. We talked about Trent Acid heavily. They'll see the Sabu podcast from way back.
I mean, we just always liked wrestling. We're going to talk about it on our show. You know what I mean? We know people who also like wrestling. No Limit talks about wrestling.
I feel like it's just this area, like this
Yeah.
neighborhood. A lot of people, like even like low key
It's huge.
fans, like when you would see a show pops up down at the arena, you will start seeing people you know.
We're right.
just-
We're around the block, literally
Yeah.
right
I
over
feel
there is
like
the ECW
I
arena.
legitimately think that everybody that we grew up around that's our age can talk about wrestling the way we can. You know what I mean?
Even if you're not a fan anymore, like
Yeah.
people still like talk about it. Like that was cool though back then. Like
For sure.
Vince McMahon faked his own death.
Bro.
How
oh my
bad was the
God.
timing on
Do you
that?
want to do any crazy booking like that? Like, do you want to do some wild shit?
Not some dumb shit like that. Like, I'm not too big on the whole like soap opera deal. Like, if it's something more realistic, like two people arguing or in a fight about something,
Somebody slit
that
somebody's
makes
throat.
sense. Yeah, like that makes sense. You want to do something to where it's like, oh, you fucking kidnapped my girlfriend and. Nah, you kidnapped my girl. I'm not waiting until this show to come get you. I'm coming to your fucking house. Like, fuck all that. Like, that don't make no sense to me. It just,
Pump 'em up. Nah, what
That
you-
is part of the character though, and that's why you said it's just an extension of yourself. Because the way you just
Basically,
explained that to
yeah.
me was you explained it like it's you, Joey Punjator, who we known our whole life, saying I'll go to your house and fucking kill you. You kidnap my girl, and that's why the character Deklan Grant is just an extension of you. That's exactly
Basically.
what the grimy bastard is. The grimy bastard ain't letting you kidnap his girl and not coming to your house and fucking you up. It's that simple.
yeah.
Do you
I'll
have
crawl into the
a
window.
favorite like storyline for like when we were kids, like a wrestling storyline? Like Radio Superstar, like Edge and like Lita, like the sex celebration or like shit like that. Like, what's your favorite one? Like Undertaker getting buried alive at SummerSlam.
Damn, I don't even know.
It's funny because whatever you say, I feel like it's definitely an inspiration to why you wanted to wrestle too. Like your
It's gotta
favorite
be
storyline.
incorporated.
honestly, what inspired me the most to even do it was the Eagles winning the Super Bowl. Like,
That is
just,
great.
And was that just because you
celebration.
loved wrestling so much, and then
Yeah.
it gave you this feeling of like I need to go do what I want to do?
Basically, I just like looked at it as like I had so much fun with doing like that whole time period. It was a blast, and then it was like back to reality. Go to work Monday, be bored, go out with your friends on a weekend, and then it's like the same old shit. I go to a bar. This is the best part. I'll go to like a bar around here. Well, the last time I actually did, see somebody I grew up with or somebody I knew when we were kids. Call up, yo, dude, how you been? Da, 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 da. I haven't seen you so long. All right, cool, whatever. Like, you embrace that. Go back to that bar a week later. You see the same person. They do the same exact thing all over again. It's like, damn, dude, are you that fucked up? Like, we were just talking about this shit a week ago.
Yeah.
See them the following week. They don't say 2 words to you. So, like, I'm just like, me going out anymore, it did nothing for me.
Right.
All they
You were
did
just
was-
tired of the life you had. And
Yeah.
that Eagles win just like lit something in you.
Yeah, in a way, it was just like, damn, like,
Hell yeah.
I kept, like, it sounds corny, but I kept thinking, I'm like, damn, the Birds did it. What did I always want to do? I kind of always wanted to wrestle. Well, then go fucking do it. Like, I basically had a conversation with myself, and just one day I was like, all right, let me give it a shot. If I don't like it, I can't say I didn't try it.
And now you love it.
Yeah.
That's
And
awesome.
you're a pretty big dude too. When you walked in, you're like 6 something, right? Like,
Like 6'1",
yeah.
something like that. Which a lot
So you
of
definitely got the size.
I got the height, the weight-wise, no.
But
I
that's
don't-
the thing though. The height you can't build that. The size you can build. That's the
Yeah.
best. That's the best part about if your
And I'm a
detriment is the
lazy fuck.
size.
Me going to the gym, like I tried it, and then just like after a couple days of doing it, like I can't get into the routine of doing it. Some days I come home from work and I'm like, I'm not doing a fucking thing. I'm sitting on the couch. I'm going to bed early.
It's tough when you got a job.
Yeah.
It really is tough. You gotta go somewhere every day that you don't want to be to like find the time on your off time when you're tired to do the shit you want to do.
That's why it's a relief in a way. Like when I have shows that are on Saturdays, so it's like I could wake up whenever, make it to the building by like 3, 4 o'clock.
Yeah, if it's on a Friday, you're rushing because you're working.
Yeah. And then Fridays, it's like I show up in my work clothes and just like, all right, who's getting beat the fuck up? Let's do it.
Who's getting beat the fuck up?
Let's
Champs
do
here.
it. Yeah, Champ's here.
Now you mentioned something earlier. You mentioned about the guy Chuck saying the dad vibe.
Mm-hmm.
You're a dad, aren't you?
Yeah.
That's No Limit. I wanted to say that's No Limit about you. You're first of all, No Limit, just the fact that you're an indie wrestler as well as holding a regular everyday job, and then also the fact that you're a dad too. On top of
Is
that,
you the first follower on the podcast?
no, Bingo.
Oh, Bingo got a baby too.
Lord
Okay.
Bingo has 2 sons who, in the future, will be a rap group together, and I am
All 3
certain
of them, or them 2 of them?
2 of them, but Bingo will probably be involved.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. Shout out my man Bingo.
Shout out Bingo.
and his whole fam.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out Ohio.
We actually
So-
brought my daughter. She was probably like, I want to say a month old or something like that. We brought her to a show.
Really?
Not intentionally. We just like we brought her to show a few of our friends and everything like that. Cause my girl, that's how I met my girl.
Yeah, you
was
said
from
you
that.
met your girl. Is she your wife or girlfriend or?
girlfriend. So.
Okay, so you met her at wrestling school.
Yeah, and we just like hit it all. Like it started like we were just friends. Like that was like one of the first girls like I was just hanging with as a regular friend.
Yeah.
Going and doing shit that I like doing. Let's go to the bar. I'm going to a bar in Bumblefuck, Jersey. I'm like, okay, it's a lot cheaper here. I'm not going to get into a fight with anybody because I don't really know anybody. So, cool. And then just like from that point on, like we started to click more and more. Now we've been stuck with each other for 4 years, and whether she likes it or not, she's stuck with me for 18.
Yeah.
Stuck with me for 18.
Stuck with me
18
for
years.
18.
18 years.
Oh, now my daughter's about to be 2 in August. So
16.
Oh, nice.
16, but
What's her name?
Sydney.
Nice.
She wants to be with the heavyweight champion too. So as long as you hold that championship, she's stuck with you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. She told me that too. She said,
Lady
you lose
like
that
gold.
belt, I'm collecting child support. So I ain't got no other choice. I'm going to be heavyweight champ for the next 16 years.
Double
Get used to
whammy.
it. Double whammy.
So how long after you met her did you guys have a daughter? Well, 2 years if you've been together for 4,
Yeah,
you said?
yeah, about like 2 years, 2.5 years.
Yeah.
It was January 2nd was when we found out that she was pregnant. 2020 out of all fucking times. And like I just said to her, just because like our relationship, we've never had any issues. Never argue, never any of that. Like I still view her as like my best friend. I just call her we'll be joking around, sitting like in Atlantic City. We're sitting around, and I'm like, damn. She was like, you see that ass? I'm like, oh yeah, that's cool. Like any other girl, like you would be in a big fucking fight about that. Like me and her are just on a mutual. Like I'm not doing it to be disrespectful or anything like that. Like I'll joke with her all the time about that shit.
Yeah, she's not a jealous person.
Yeah, no,
cool.
Like, she knows I ain't going nowhere. Because she knows no other girl's gonna deal with my dumb ass.
And now does she? I know she works a lot with you as valet.
Yeah.
Does she? Obviously, she works matches too on her own.
She just started.
But does Hardcore Hustle have a lot of a female roster for her to work with, or not really?
Not
right now?
really, no. And like the position that she's been put in, like I'm a little jealous in a way. Like don't get me wrong, like I did a lot in the last 2 years. But, like, she's been working, like, quality veterans. Like, and everybody's been taking care of her for the most part. But it's like she's starting to learn because she can't really go to training. She has the baby all the time.
Right.
And then the baby gets all freaked out when she sees her flipping around and all that. She smiles when she sees me get beat up. That's the worst part.
Blood, all that.
Smiles like a motherfucker. Me and Chuck Payne did a match. This is at the time he wore the big fucking cane mask and everything.
Yeah.
Looks up at that. Any other little kid would scream, get away from me. She looks up, smiles, points at him. He's choking me. I'm bleeding, hits me with a chair. And she's just like, clapping her hands. I'm like, thanks,
awesome.
Sid. Yeah,
That's
awesome.
Kill him.
Yeah, hurt him. And I
And
just
then when
like,
she's out there, she's always like
Teary
going nuts and like
Yeah.
screaming and crying.
Like I told my girl, I'm like, we can't bring her anymore. Like we shouldn't have brought her them few times that we have, but like because of the age that she's at, I don't want her thinking like, oh, it's okay. You just punch somebody in the face. It's
Does
okay.
your girl get into the extreme stuff too?
That's all she's been doing.
That's all she's been doing.
Yeah, like she had like 2 regular matches, and then everything else was some type of like hardcore.
I think as long as you guys teach her, like this is what we do. It's like an acting thing. It's like you know,
Yeah.
Yeah, but the
it's like an
bleeding
improv.
everywhere
I
is
know,
real.
Yeah.
And she's not even 2
Yeah,
years. so it's
2
like
years
I mean,
old,
like
yeah.
as she gets older, I mean,
Definitely.
hard
obviously,
to explain that one.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I'm not a dad, so I don't know.
Definitely agree with you on the 2 years old thing, but like he said, when she gets older, it'll be way easier to explain. Is there anything, before we close out here, because we're approaching an hour, I think, is there anything that you won't do hardcore-wise? Like that you've already set in stone, like I'm not touching that?
Would you piss yourself and run out?
Yeah.
I feel like on
great.
some, not the whole match, but on some gimmick shit, like if you do a run-in during a match, that would be a classic.
Run in with like fake piss on me?
No,
or just
real
run in and
piss.
actually
Yeah,
piss.
just piss and then run out there. Like full on, like stand
Keep
there,
it kayfabe.
right outside the curtain, piss yourself, and then run out. And then whatever happens, happens. But they have
Immediately
no,
hit somebody
Look,
with a
I'm
Bronco
fair-skinned, though. I'm
Buster.
gonna be all chafed and shit.
They have
Like,
no
that's
idea that
all
you're doing
fucked
this
up.
either. So they're gonna get in the ring and you're gonna start wrestling.
Nah,
Is that
yo, I'm
fucking
real
piss?
experienced with this shit. Like, as soon as you're done, just go in the back and dump all these waters on yourself. You'll be Gucci.
This is fucking piss.
That's fucked up.
That'd be
I almost
great.
shit myself in a match, actually.
Oh,
Wow.
that was
grimy.
a rough one. But, like, the entire time, I said it to the dude, too, after he slammed me. I was like, dude, I'm crop dusting like a motherfucker right now. Like, we got to take it home soon.
How do you
Soon.
how do you wrestle with a fucking
Oh, yo-yo and
poop.
fucking turtle head. It was a nightmare.
Yo, and a turtle.
Yo-yo the entire
poop
time.
butt?
You get bumped
Yo-yo.
and you're just like, oh, fuck, don't do it. And it was
What
like,
would
at
you
the
do if
end,
you were just laying there and just shit?
Then you gotta do what you gotta do. Dude, there's
Yeah.
stories of wrestlers shitting
a
themselves
lot
in
of
the
people
ring.
have done it. Dusty Rhodes used to get a fucking napkin and stick it, like, fold it up and then stick it in his ass crack.
That's so
Just in
fucking
case.
gross,
Just in case
bro.
he did.
It's so gross.
Dusty
That's a
Rhodes, that's
classic.
a lot of ass.
The
to me.
plumber.
Oh, man.
Son of a plumber.
But a lot of people, supposedly, that's something they did. And I'm like, well, why wouldn't you just go take a shit before you go
Yeah.
out? And then I realized, well, when you're ready and it's almost go time, like, you ain't got time to go and sit on the fucking toilet because your music's going to be playing. Same thing would happen to take a piss. Like, I'll be jumping around like, fuck, I got to piss so bad. As soon as you walk through the curtain, it just disappears.
That's crazy.
It's actually funny. I remember you saying earlier, because I was just asking you about, like, what you wouldn't do hardcore-wise. You were saying that a steel chair shot to the head, it seems so simple to people, but that might be one of the worst things you could take.
Mm-hmm. I did, it was the night, actually, I wrestled Shane Douglas. I'm doing a battle royal, and somebody brought in a chair. And it was a regular steel chair, but it was heavy as shit. And I threw it at Devin Moore, And I just, like, I said to him, I was like, fuck it, hit me with it. Like, get your receipt. Because the crowd was like, they were with it, but they weren't in a way, like, because there was other people in. And me and him were fucking trying to kill each other the entire time. So he picks it up, and I actually do put my hand up to kind of block it.
But it was
the
heavy.
fucking lip caught me right in the back of my head, and just the whole back of my head started pouring down blood. I was like, motherfucker.
Yeah.
I had this one fat girl the entire time. She's, where are you bleeding from? And I'm just like laying there dizzy. I just pull my hand down. I just had blood all down my hand.
I
Just went
hate
like
that,
this. She, I'm like, yeah, fuck you, bitch. Shut up.
From the head.
I mean, does that mean that chair shots might be something you'll slow down on, or?
No, I'm
Not
just,
really.
it depends, like, when it comes towards, like, doing certain weapons and everything, like, there's a difference between, like, hardcore wrestling and then, like, deathmatch wrestling.
Right.
Deathmatch, you do more glass and everything. Hardcore, it's, like, more blunt objects you can get around. You can do a hardcore match and not have to bleed.
Right.
Deathmatch is, it's kind of hard, but certain weapons, you're almost guaranteed bleeding.
For some reason, I'm so squeezed.
You're supposed to be booked to die in a death match. You're supposed to
Basically,
bleed.
yeah, that's the whole
Like,
concept.
because I'm
So
high,
do
this
you?
sounds
Is that where you draw the line?
No, I think, honestly, where I'll draw the line is a weed whacker.
Ah, okay.
A weed whacker
I've seen
seems
it.
to be like the weapon of choice sometimes. I'm cool.
It was in like CZW days. I've seen the
Yeah.
weed whacker used. Maybe we could find a video, throw it up right here. And that was one thing that I saw too. That I was like, you gotta be a sick motherfucker to get chopped with a weed whacker.
Like, I've taken. Have you ever seen gusset plate? The plates that they bind fucking buildings together.
Right.
I used one of them. I had no adrenaline either. The guy fucking stuck it in my head just so I can start bleeding before we went out. I'm cutting myself and the building's cold and really not getting the blood that I wanted to. So this fucking asshole sticks a gusset plate in my head, punches it. When I say get it, he hits it 3 more times. I'm like, no, I meant get it. Take it out of my fucking head. Pull it and then just bleed everywhere. But yeah, I'm a special kind of stupid, so it's like hard to say what I won't do, but I guess when I guess barefoot. I won't do nothing barefoot neither. But other than
Weed
that,
whacker's pretty.
weed whacker
that's a
and
good
barefoot.
answer.
That's my only two. Everything else,
Barefoot. Shout out to fucking Necro Butcher. Barefoot
Special
wrestler.
breed.
You know him?
not
you ever?
personally.
Not
No,
personally.
Not
Not at all.
personally, but definitely.
You said you had a couple classic combos with Sandman.
Yeah.
Right? That's a crazy
Oh
motherfucker
man,
too.
the one time we went to the meet and greet they had. This was before I even started wrestling. We went to the meet and greet they had down at the arena, and
Just him on it.
him and Tommy Dreamer were at the same table. We started talking to the Sandman, and he was like, "Oh, you guys from around here?" As soon as we said, "Yeah, we're right, same neighborhood." Dude, he went on a whole spree about Nichols, the fucking Ramada Inn, Patty Wax, Fat Tuesday. He just started naming all these places. Literally, Tommy Dreamer sitting there. People are like trying to go by and like get autographs and everything, and he's just holding the whole lineup, sitting there talking to us the whole time.
Really?
Dude's holding the phone, just snapping pictures. There's multiple pictures of him just like pointing his stick, like, you know this. I'm like,
Nichols
this is
boy,
fucking...
you know Nichols.
It went from happy to see Sandman to, all right, can we move on already? This
Like,
motherfucker,
shut up, old man.
He hasn't stopped talking. I love it, but like,
That's crazy. They just
Dude,
like that.
he's-
I would have never guessed.
definitely a good dude. Definitely
Sure.
a good dude because he'll hold the conversation and just talk your fucking ear off.
Seems more
especially-
standoffish
Yeah,
as the Sandman.
definitely.
Shout out to him for originating the entrance through the crowd.
Yeah. Fire.
Shout out to him for wrestling drunk. Fuck that.
But like you said
He's
earlier,
classic.
a lot of guys wrestle drunk because you said you even had a couple shots of the whiskey just to bleed a little more. A ton of dudes were probably doing that in the 90s.
There's
A little more than that, probably.
definitely more than half, but
Forever, probably.
me, I don't know how. Like, even the one match, like to get my blood flowing, it was the same one I did with the gusset plate. Me and the guy are going back and forth punching each other, and like it came to a point, I'm falling down on the floor. I'm falling on concrete, but I'm whipping my body down on the concrete. I'm like, why doesn't this hurt? Oh, I'm drunk. That's why. Like, it wasn't until I was out there falling on the floor that I noticed that I was drunk. Then we're punching each other back and forth, and I'm like, all right, it's coming back. Like, we got to slow this down now. I'm burping it up and everything. Like, that's a risk you can take. I don't want to take it no more. Like,
Yeah, because when you get too drunk, you end up going under the ring and throwing
you
up.
fucking get an adrenaline rush, and then your stomach starts twisting, and you're throwing up everywhere. It's not fun. Definitely not fun.
That sounds horrible.
So, anything you want to tell the No Limit audience before we wrap up? Like, as far as Deklan Grant in general, what's next for him? And as far as the Hardcore Hustle organization, too? Like, what's next for that as a whole?
I mean, just buy my shirt, deathmatchworldwide.com.
Oh, hell yeah.
But
Yeah,
other than
sure.
that, see, like, I'm bad with dates, so I could try to plug, like, when the next show is and then just give you a completely wrong date.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, where's the building located? It's in Jersey, right?
It's in Williamstown.
Okay.
Is the next show this weekend?
No, I don't think so.
Because we can plug the next show on the No Limit page, too.
No.
We can do it after the fact. The episode comes out. We still
Yeah,
promote it.
whenever.
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
drawing blanks right now. I'm trying to remember. I go off of, all right, how many weeks do I have? 2, 3, 1 week? All right, then. Like,
Until the show?
yeah.
How many weeks you been champion?
Probably almost 2 months now. Or a month now.
2 months.
Something like that.
We're looking at a 365-day run at least.
JBL. He's the next
The
JBL.
wrestling god.
I already told you. 16 years. So my girl doesn't try to collect no child
16-time
support.
champion. Fuck that. One time for 16 years straight. It was way
Yeah.
better. Now that's No Limit.
As a champion.
Yeah.
King.
All right. We would leave you with that. But I got, just looking at you, bro, I got to just say before the podcast is over, I think that the government replaced you with a clone. I'm calling you out right now.
Why?
Because you look like you, but you look like it's just a little bit off. Like you look like it's you, but
You
it's
know
a
what it
fake
is?
you that they
You know
tried
what
to
it
make
is?
look like you.
This is exactly what it is. I ate an edible and I've gotten literally maybe 3 hours of sleep in the past 48 hours. I'm just on absolute tank E.
I
Like,
read
I'm-
it in your
I'm-
eyes right now.
I'm
It's like
dying.
that fucking meme. Did you smoke?
No, I literally only ate an edible. I didn't even smoke at all. That's why I've been like yawning like this and shit, dude. I'm hurt. I'm in full crab sprawl. You know the Mr. Krabs meme?
Yeah.
Originally, I'm in full crab sprawl this whole episode. Just like this.
You listen to that beep beep boo bop.
Bop,
beep,
beep,
boop.
bop, bop. Shake it out.
All right. Well, that's been it for the No Limit Podcast, episode 66. Wow.
Yeah,
Awesome.
66.
66.
100 soon.
Make sure you check out Deklan Grant on Instagram. Straight up, no
Nah, Johnny
underscores.
Bastard, is it?
Grimy
Oh,
bastard.
the grimy bastard. Straight up, no underscores.
Yeah, I believe
Grimy
so.
bastard on Instagram. Check him out. Follow the Hardcore Hustle organization if you're in the Philly, Jersey, Delaware, New York, Connecticut, Vermont, Jabip area. Hit up the show and see the heavyweight champion of the world, Deklan Grant. That's been it. Peace.
Love you. Love you. Love you.
No limit. No